Sultai control. In my experience so far, playing blue, black, and Sultai decks in this standard format, I'm interested to see if this instant speed package with counter spells and Chemister's Insight being the card advantage spell feels good. So far, what I've played, I feel like having a more tap out control based deck list that focuses on spot removal and discard spells rather than being more all in on these, because like we're mixing and matching sorcery speed things with instant speed things, which creates some awkward sequencing a lot of the time in my experience. So we'll see if that still feels like the case with this. Four more win cons than the last deck. That's true. Infinitely more win cons than the previous deck list we were playing. Ah, Basic Island Assassins Trophy. We're not excited, but we're keeping. Perfect, just like we drew it up. Never didn't have it. Gosh, we could have kept the search for Azcanta on top and gotten there. Should have gone greedier. It's a great time to get back into Magic. Arena is awesome and this current standard format is fantastic. Drakes? Must be Drakes, right? So, Enigma is cheaper, but Crackling Drake draws them a card. So I'm going to take the Crackling Drake because I just want to run them out of resources, basically. I'm going to bin the 6th land here. Don't need that just yet. No land out of them is fantastic for us. It means if they do hit the land next turn, I'll be able to Contempt right away on curve. I feel like them shocking us aggressively was kind of a mistake on their part, because with their hand, if we like Thought Erasure to shock out of their hand, that's kind of a win for them, right? I don't think I want a no value Reborn here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pass back. So, one of the other things I've talked about in this format is that I feel like the win conditions control decks have access to are so incredibly powerful that playing decks that don't have win conditions in it doesn't feel like it makes a lot of sense to me. So, like, for instance, the Jeskai control deck that just won the Grand Prix recently had 4 copies of Niv Mizzet in the main. So I feel like in Sultai especially, there really isn't a reason to not play like Carnage Tyrants in your main or some other big finisher that can close games out. Well, they haven't drawn a lot of lands, but they've drawn a lot of Phoenixes. I do have a standing desk. I have one of those desks that goes up and down with motors in the legs, so I split my time sitting and standing generally. I mean, success doesn't make it right. Like, there's good theory behind it too. Niv is the type of card where if you untap with it, you almost always win the game. So you might as well play a bunch of it because you want to win the game with it. So if they kill it, you want to play another one immediately. Do I want to give them a land? I don't want to give them a land because it makes them more likely to bring back their Phoenixes next turn. I can Erasure plus Vraska here. They might be able to bring the birds back next turn. They hit a land here.
Don't doubt my methods.
Yeah, maybe I'm supposed to take the opt, because now they can chart, opt, maximize, bring back the birds. Yeah, I think you're right, Zach, that I was supposed to take the opt. Yeah, if they'd have kept the shocks, they'd have definitely had the birds. But they blew the shocks earlier, and if I would have taken the ops here, I'd have been okay. Because they can jumpstart this maximized velocity, targeting my pirate here. Yep. So they're probably going to kill Vraska here. I guess we could see them just try and kill me in 2 attacks. I feel like they're going to kill Vraska here. I feel like their chances of racing are pretty low. Yeah, definitely should have taken the op there rather than their Crackling Drake. Treasure Map's a great card. Like, people always like to ask, like, what's your favorite underplayed card in Standard? We've been saying Treasure Map for a while here. Card's been really good in the artifact decks we've been playing. I would like this boy. He's a big one. Ritual of Soot. Not particularly impressive here. Maybe I'm supposed to not do this aggressively, so that way they're incentivized to... What's the word I'm searching for? So that way they're incentivized to attack with all of them, but I really don't want to run into a counterspell here. I think I'm going to go ahead and shock this in even and kill the Sarkin here as well. At least we'll be able to turn the Ritual of Soot into something cards with the Chemister's Insight. Is Crackling Drake better than Vraska here? I think so. Like, leaving the Phoenix in play just means it's gonna, like, attack down my Vraska, especially with these maximized velocities. And, like, because they have the velocities, any other Drake they draw is just gonna kill my Vraska. And, like, I'm really not happy trading my Planeswalker for, like, a maximized velocity plus an attack stat. Yeah, Drake also replaces itself, which is a big deal. What's going on, Kit Kat? Thanks for the biddies. Thanks for watching on YouTube. Yep, see, very happy we didn't get Vraska back. We're gonna trade Drakes here, most likely. I guess I could take the hit, eat the Phoenix, and then Ritual of Soot to kill the Enigma Drake. What do we think of that? I think that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I think I'm gonna eat here, attack them, and then Soot. And I think I'm far enough ahead at this point that I'm gonna leave my Drake back so I don't die by mistake. I feel like the only way I lose this game is if I get sloppy and let them get an attack in, then I don't have to let them get in. I guess I 2-turn clock them by attacking with this, so maybe this is playing scared. Oh, you know what? Oh, do they have another Clarion? They said, oops, I bet they have another Clarion and don't have another, they don't have a white mana. I should have done this on my turn because I could have hit a, oh, it hit Syncopate anyways. I could have hit a Thought Erasure. All right, with Sabotage, this game should be locked up. We did not play Pirates today. Excuse me. That doesn't do anything, so results.
No sword can pierce my scales.
Like, they know I have the Sabotage. They saw it off the Azcanta, so like, what are we doing here? Nah, I think I just want as many lands as possible so I can, like, counter spells and cast activate Azcanta. Yeah, Drakes are real good. Scavenger sounds fantastic. this card's not standard playable. So this card is only a card you should bring in matches where when you name something with it, your opponent basically can't win the game anymore. And those types of matches don't exist in standard. This is a card that was designed for modern. So I'm gonna cut these from the sideboard after we finish this match. There should probably be like 2 more trophies in the board, or like a trophy and a cast down. Cast down and trophy 2. I think 2 mana. Let me articulate myself. I think these black decks want a minimum of 4 2-mana instant speed ways to kill drakes. I think it's very important to have instant speed ways to take drakes off the table. Hey, Sava7, thank you for the brand new Prime support. No, there's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch. Thanks for supporting mine this month. Black Source is the perfects. I'm gonna lead on this because they could have a 3-mana Drake here I'd like to take away. Oh, just the smartest and the thinnest. I'm gonna bin this because I'm looking for lands. I'm not sure what you mean, Lau. You can't upgrade your sub. You should be able to. They discarded a Phoenix. Sign me up. Hungry, hungry dino. I'm gonna do this proactively now, just in case they get a bunch of crazy draws next turn. I can get this back. It does lower my chance of hitting my land drop next turn, but I think that's fine. Risky Brick Shower. Thank you for the Twitch Prime support. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me in play here this month with that. Shock is still in their deck post board. Okay. I guess they might expect Thief of Sanity. Makes a little bit of sense. Oh, in the Unmortigo picture, it made faces. That's funny. Perfect. All right, so now I'm just holding up a counterspell / Chemister's Insight, right? The instant speed aspect of this deck actually doesn't feel that bad. Chemister's Insight goes a long way towards making it feel better. I do too, Danon. I'm gonna cover up, because this way if I draw a land next turn, I'm able to play Azcanta plus hold up Sabotage. Perfect. It's like appealing to want to cast the Sabotage to like try and hit my land drop, but the upside of hitting my land drop with Sabotage is pretty high. Sure. I think so. The tiny dragons are pretty good. Are they getting a bird back here? Yeah, they're getting a bird back here. That's unfortunate. I'm just gonna cast this to use my mana and deny them a card. Because remember, this is a 1-for-1 still. Perfect. It's just Kai Drake's the thing. Kinda, it had a result at a Magic Online League. This is our first match with the deck. We've not changed anything yet. We're gonna change a couple of things in the sideboard after this match at least, though. You're correct. I should have countered the chart, of course, first there. I didn't realize that I was going to be in a position to want to counter a cantrip. By the time I realized it, I just wanted to use my mana. So I agree with your assessment that countering Charter Course as their first play would have likely been better. That's not how the bounty board works. You don't just get to like turn it on whenever you want. There has to be a new posting for it. Perfect. Why not Reborn having Contempt for later? Because the Phoenix comes back. Phoenix, what's the bounty board? The bounty board is a thing on Twitch that partnered streamers have access to that has paid product promotion in it. So you can get paid to stream certain things. And occasionally Arena is in that bounty board. The extensions, if you click on them, should allow you to turn them off. Alternatively, you can refresh your browser page. Howdy boo. Yeah, Suspicious Cover-Up exiles the thing. For people asking why we don't set up Eldest Reborn to get back to free. I'd recommend trying a different web browser or contacting Twitch support then, Sandbagger. All right. This game's over. Hey, Akreen, thank you for the Prime support. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a good Wednesday.
Time for Plan B.
One can stay right there. Alrighty. J-Demp Wolf, thank you for the brand new normal tier 1 sub. Welcome, welcome. New subs, be sure you check out the Discord server later. It takes about an hour to sync sometimes, but you'll want to pop in there. We talk about magic and all sorts of wonderful stuff in there. What do you think of 4-mana Vraska? I think 4-mana Vraska is one of the biggest traps in Standard. You want your Planeswalkers to generate card advantage, and she doesn't do that. She just turns resources into other resources. So, again, Unmoored Ego, this isn't a standard playable card. It's really not good. There isn't a single deck in Standard where after you Unmoored Ego them, they no longer have win conditions left in their deck. And the most important thing about this, control mirrors often come down to card advantage and being up on cards. This card is never card advantage. Even when you take a card out of your opponent's hand, it gives them another card to draw. So you're always down a card in a matchup where card advantage matters when you're playing Unmoored Ego. I also mentioned that I think you should have 4 to 5 ways to kill Drakes at instant speed for 2 mana in decks like this. So I'm gonna put a 3rd trophy and then 2 cast down in my sideboard here. I think I've got 1 more board slot. 1 more board slot. I was gonna put another big dumb dino in. Control mirrors often. I already have a deck with that. I didn't rename it. Oh, that's funny. It lets me have a space at the end of the name. It counts as a different deck if I have a space at the end of the name. This is the other Sultai control deck we played on stream, right? Yeah, this one's got more threats in it, right? Yeah, it's got Carnage Tyrant main. It's a little bit different. All right. How do I give you more money? You can donate. You could donate using this link here. Alternatively, you could also send bits. If you click the get bits button, you can cheer in chat. That gives you fun animations and a bit badge. Fog and Storm decks. I feel like I'd rather just have counter spells and discard for those matchups if that's what I was worried about. I'd play things like Negate and Duress and then more pressure. I play the latter because I'm not interested in farming prizes while I play Magic Arena. Because these are viewer-submitted deck lists that we're playing, I would like the flexibility to change the decks in between the games that we play. Having the flexibility to make edits and learn as we play games is more valuable than trying to earn some prizes. What's the best way to collect specific cards in Arena? With your credit card, of course. easy Eldest Reborn. It's kind of blue-black mid-range, looks like. If I want another land, I want it to be a black source, so I'm going to bin that. The most powerful magical card, the credit card. We Plague Crafting me to make me discard a card. What am I bidding here? It feels like they're probably not a swarm deck, so I'm going to go ahead and bin this Ritual of Soot. Well, thank you for the support, Dan, and I appreciate it. So they're still pretty far off of this Eldest Reborn. So I think I'm going to wait a hot second on this Thought Erasure. Just playing the Moment of Craving this turn. You just buy booster packs, and you open the booster packs to collect cards. And as you open booster packs, you also open and accumulate wild cards to craft specific cards that you would like to play with. So if you buy booster packs, you get things called wild cards in them that let you get specific cards. Yeah, the Explorer Creature package is very good. It's one of the reasons why green-black is such a powerful mid-range deck. Yeah, it looks like they're playing the Quasi-Duplicate deck. This seems like a weird card to include in there, although I guess it eventually kills them, right? Like it's the 6/5 that drains a little bit. Need some land. Perfect. They are one land away from the giant happening. Is it silly to Ritual of Soot just this one idiot? Probably. We might see them Memorial, pick back up the Seeker Squire, and then play that. They're just playing that. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, this is funny. They're hostage taking their own thing and then replaying it. So they get to draw a card. That's nice. That's a good play. Just like cantrip your hostage taker. Like they obviously want to add more pressure to the table, right? I agree, fantastically cute. So do I trophy plus Soot here and then plan to reborn this next turn? I think so. Oh, I don't have another black. Awkward. All right, change of plans. I don't think it was worth shocking to do that. Maybe it was. I also kind of don't want to trophy them if they don't already have a 7th land. Because if they don't have a 7th land, trophying them ramps them up into being able to play their 6/5. I think I'd prefer to avoid that. Sure. Fantastic. So now I will trophy this at end of turn since it costs 4 and Ritual of Soot can't kill it. And then I'll untap and Soot to clear all their dorks out. And then I will still have Sinister Sabotage up to be able to counter their giant. Zap. Is there undergrowth at? There's some easy thing that tells me they're undergrowth, or not until the card's on the stack. Is this 3? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, it looks like. You can see the deck that I'm currently playing on your deck via the Stream Decker widget. Alternatively, you can type !deck in chat to get a link to the deck list. So they already used their Memorial to Folly, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do this and get my Surveil on. Thought Erasure is fantastic as well, because we know they have a spell in their hand. If I didn't know they had a spell in their hand, I might wait, but I might bin this, sorry, but because I know they have a spell, I'd like to, yeah. Goodbye. Whew. This doesn't trigger until she attacks, right? So I'll be able to Eldest Reborn that one off the table. Does that want Poisoner in the 75 to deal with Carnage Tyrant? Yeah, maybe that or Nightveil Predator. I've been pretty impressed with Nightveil Predator as a card, too. I think this deck's light on win conditions in general. Well, Poisoner has Flash, which makes it a surprise. Nightveil Predator or Spectre, whatever it's called, the 4-mana 3/3 Death Touch Hexproof is fine. So, kind of at top decks here. I'm going to have Eldest Reborn coming in here soon to grab me something out of their bin. Scatter's a good pickup. So they must have some kind of reactive card here to have not played it right. Nope, they just weren't paying attention. Yeah, oops. The beginning of your upkeep, if you have the City's Blessing, reveal the top card of your hand where each opponent loses X life. So, I have two choices here. I can either scatter this, or I could scatter this so I can get it back with Eldest Reborn, or I could just get their Chupacabra. I feel like I'm gonna let this resolve and kill it with Chupacabra. I guess I have the City's Blessing here, but like, this is just like my last answer, so I really don't want to spend my last answer on that, when like they could have something else. Oh, I could have Hostage Takered it. That's a good suggestion. Yeah, I missed over that. Hostage Taker was the correct line. It is 110% correct. Yep, Hostage Taker is the correct line. So we definitely let it resolve, but we should have grabbed the Hostage Taker and then replayed it. I'm gonna let that happen. That's fine. We can continue doing nothing. Well, it was 0% correct to scatter it. The correct line was grab the Hostage Taker. Alright, Vraska's a pretty good one. We're both drawn back and forth.
Stand aside. Make your captain proud.
Make your captain proud. Oh no! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That is a creature that scatter does not counter. Little one good top deck decision, another right. I guess whenever they're getting back here, I just get to Vraska and kill it, right? That being said, they are gonna get to dome me for like 12, right? This giant's gonna hit me for a big old mess. 14. Woof. Woof. That's... Ooh, it hurts. It hurts. All right, Syncopate. Sweet. All right. Syncopate should lock things up. Syncopate should lock things up.
Sorry, were you using that?
I'm sorry, were you using that? But I think of this deck versus the Sultai Super Friends deck. I haven't played enough games with this. I know I really liked the Sultai deck with more win conditions in it that we played previously. We basically splashed green into the blue-black Surveil deck. I liked that a lot. I feel like this deck doesn't have enough win conditions in it to really be consistent. I just feel like the win conditions in Standard are so good right now that not playing win condition in your control deck is kind of a punt. Like, we have Carnage Tyrant, just like all these other things that are just so fantastic. It's fine, you can Surveil. Alright, we're gonna scatter this, saving the Syncopate in case they draw another Concoct. I'm countering that even though Vraska could kill it because I don't want them to Surveil a whole bunch. And I want Vraska to start making more counters. Do you think that big Vraska isn't sufficient as a win con? I think big Vraska alone isn't sufficient as a win con. I think so they have 4 mana here, so I want X to be, yeah, let's just make it like 6 for good measure. I think only playing Vraska as a win con is a mistake. I think there's enough win cons that are also brick walls, so basically answers, that you should just be playing both.
The belligerent needs her crew.
Yeah, I think we've crossed go here. Would you consider Mill through Teferi a win con? No. The decks that are only playing Teferi as a win con are the ones that I'm referring to that I think are worse than the ones that play Crackling Drake or Niv Mizzet or, you know, Rekindling Phoenix. Just like all these cards are just like very resilient and good win conditions. I think Esper doesn't have good enough win conditions. You should play colors that actually kill people. Is the constantly changing avatar a bug? No, it's a feature. I haven't selected an avatar, and if you don't select an avatar, it just rotates through them. Yeah, I think Nightveil Predator is also great. I probably want some of those in my 75 for dealing with opposing Carnage Tyrants. I've not played it. Other people have been playing that. That deck is in my donation queue, but I haven't played it yet. Alright. This probably isn't a Thief matchup, huh? Moment seems kind of bad here. Ritual of Soot seems kind of bad here. Do we expect them to have Chupacabras, Plague Crafters? It actually probably is a bad Carnage Tyrant matchup. Maybe I want the Thief to try and steal. What do you think of this configuration? I think I like it. I don't think I need trophies, and oh, you know what? Eldest Reborn is probably pretty bad because they have a lot of like medium creatures that like get in the way. Put a couple of cast downs in for targeted spot removal. I think this is fine. I mean, I have a lot of spot removal and counter spells. Like, by the time they get to a mana point where they're hostage taking and playing Thief in the same turn, we're probably fine. I think the Grixis Dragon deck that's on my website is very reasonable. I think turn 4 Niv is a heck of a drug. Very, very powerful. Easy mulligan, no blue mana. Slow but reasonable deal. No, we don't have either of those in our main deck at the moment. So another thing too is like people talking about don't board in cards that could take it by hostage taker. One of the most important things you need to learn about sideboarding in Magic has to do with leveling. So the idea of leveling is that you don't sideboard against the deck you just played against. You need to sideboard against the deck you're going to be playing against. So like my opponent didn't see a creature out of us in half of our deck. So there's a very real chance that my opponent no longer has hostage taker in their deck for this game. They need to cut something to bring in copies of Duress and things like that. It depends on so many factors, Crimple. That's not an easy cut and dry question. Yeah, you just kill it. We have a lot of ways to just kill it, which is nice. Yep. For the Tyrant I'm bringing in? Yeah. Perfect. So their hand has nothing scary in it. I'm hitting my 4th land next turn, so I'm going to get to hold up Chemister's Insight / Sinister Sabotage. We're going to be in a pretty good spot. The counterspell package in this actually feels better than I was expecting it to feel. The Chemister's Insight Sabotage is just like good combo. I guess that's why Jeskai Control is good, right? They get to play both those cards. Sure. I'm gonna bin this trophy. They just have 2 lands left in their hand. God bless. So I'm gonna take a hit for 3 here and play Chemister's Insight, assuming they don't give us anything to sabotage. And then hopefully we find the land next turn so we can cast down this Plaguecrafter plus hold up Sabotage. They play some kind of scary 5-drop. Obviously, we're gonna need to sabotage it. Thoughts on Jacobson's PT Demir list? I don't know all the details in that deck offhand. I know that was the one that had like hostage takers and stuff in it, right? I know there were a lot of people that played Demir at that PT and none of them really had particularly good results. So I'm not sure that's something I'd be interested in. I know from my experience playing a lot of blue-black decks in this format, it feels like not splashing green is a mistake. I think adding the green cards comes at a pretty low cost with the dual lands that we have access to right now, and the green cards fix problems that you have. So one of the things that's great about this format is that there aren't commonly accepted, this is the best way to build every archetype in the format. It's one of the things that makes this format good. So yeah, Jeskai Control without those cards just did well at a tournament, but guess what? There's been dozens of other Jeskai decks that have been doing well in various events. Lots and lots and lots of different things that have been good. All right. If you've ever wondered what winning feels like, connecting with the Thief of Sanity is what winning feels like. For those of you at home. Looking for a counter spell, counter spell, counter spell. Looking for a counter spell. Do 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 do. Yeah, Thief is quite good. Sure. So what do I want to discard here? It's probably Sabotage, right? And if I'm discarding Sabotage, I probably just want to bin it to this. All right, and now I'll discard the land, so I might as well. No, I'm not going to play this. I'm going to hold the gate up here. It's pretty good. So they're going to get back... They're going to get back the Undergrowth Giant this turn. And hopefully they don't have 18 things in here. They have 10. That's good. Oh, they could get Thief back, I guess. Oh, they have a Vraska. Crap. Awkward. Oh, they're getting back that. Deal. 9, sure. Accept. Yes, we are riding Thief plus counterspells to victory here, ideally. Since I decided not to get Vraska and kill it. I had a question for you. There's a new deck I've been toying with. The question is whether or not more White Weenie style decks should be running Citywide Bust. I don't know, like, what problem is Citywide Bust solving for the mono white decks, right? Like, what issue do they have that you're fixing with that addition? Would always be my question. Anything good to get out of here? I guess they could get Plague Crafter, which kills my Thief of Sanity. That would be a little annoying. Yeah, this makes a lot of sense. You guys want critical massive cards at this point. I've got Scatter, Negate, Stroke, so just like trying to find some win condition sounds great. Looking at the Griselbrand list, I think Griselbrand is fine. And if you've watched my streams, you know that Griselbrand's the type of deck, we talk about it a lot. Griselbrand isn't a deck that has bad matchups. It's a deck that either it does its thing and they die, or it doesn't do its thing and it does nothing and it just bumbles and dies. D-Tree, thank you for the biddies, I appreciate it. It went okay, we ended up going 2-2 with it. Maybe I should have countered that, maybe it was greedy not to. Isn't Death Shadow a pretty bad matchup for Griselbrand? Not if you kill him on turn 1. Griselbrand can literally kill people on the first turn of the game. They can like tap out for a cantrip and then you kill them. Fantastic. Alright, let's just play Thief of Sanity here. And then we've got infinite counterspells to protect this Storko. Alright, I'm gonna sit down for a bit, enjoy the ride, chat. So I've got 7 mana up here, so I'm gonna go ahead and take this hit here, just in case my opponent makes me need to play two mana counterspells here. And then at end of turn, if they don't give me something I need to counterspell, I'll go ahead and Vraska's Contempt the Seeker Squire. Ad nauseum with Mission Briefing. I don't understand why you would want Mission Briefing and Ad nauseum. And I'm struggling to see what problem that is solving. Like, your combo's already a ton of mana. So, like, oh, you know what? I should have Disdainful Stroked that, because now they can Plague Crafter and kill me. That's fine. They put Griselbrand into play and then kill you. Sounds good, Zero. Are we gonna deck them? They're gonna be down to like 18 cards next turn. Deal. Look at that. Found an answer to their Stitcher supplier. Yay, blockers! Yeah, correct. Yeah, we actually deck them before Thief of Sanity kills them. I wish I could just play with our hand. If I was playing this game in paper right now, I would just have my hand face up on the table and just be like, you can concede at any point. Like, these are my cards. My cards are amazing. These are some of your cards. They are also amazing, and I can cast them. Yeah, I feel like the opponent's deck would probably be pretty reasonable with a little bit of work. Again, I just feel like Stitcher Supplier is just not a card that's worth playing. Just like, the payoff that you get from Stitcher Supplier is not worth it being a 1-mana 1/1. Although I guess it's like okay with Planecrafter. It's got some synergy there. Get that. We milled them 3 cards. Hidden win condition activated. Can you reveal face down cards to your opponent in paper 2? You are allowed to reveal any hidden information that you have. You can reveal to your opponent at any time. Like our hand has 3 different spots, like actual hand, jumpstart their cards. These are all of these places we can play stuff from. You cannot play lands with Thief of Sanity, for those that are wondering why I didn't play the Drowned Catacomb. Concoct. Thud. Trigger. Got some of that big graveyard energy. Use your negate. Is this list on my website? This is not. This is a viewer submitted deck list. This will end up on my YouTube channel later, as always. You can also find it via the Stream Decker page. Typing !deck deck in chat. 6'5" shock you. How are we doing, folks? Welcome. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're at in the world. Thanks for hanging out here today with us. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer here on Twitch. I play pretty much all constructed card games on this channel. We play a ton of standard here on Arena. I also play a bunch of modern on Magic Online. I dip my toe into Artifact a little bit as well. I'm here streaming 30, 40, 50 hours a week. If you enjoy my stuff, please consider subscribing to my channel. My subscribers are the people that keep me employed here full-time. I love what I do, but I wouldn't be able to be here day in and day out without their wonderful support. Past subscribing, you can also support my stuff by checking out some of my very wonderful sponsors. Lisa would like to get you on your way to a better night's sleep. Christy and I have been sleeping with Lisa for the last 4 months now and really love it. I don't think we'd ever go back to traditional pillow top mattress. You can save $160 or more on your new mattress with them by checking out links bit.ly/HugelbedUS and bit.ly/HugelbedCA. Are you someone that thinks you always find the best possible line while playing Magic? But put your skills to the test. Head on over to possibilitystorm.com and find over 80 Magic puzzles of varying difficulty. They put out new ones every single week and they're completely free, so you should check them out. They're quite awesome. CoolStuffInc.com buys and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles using promo code Jeff5. You can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, Warhammer, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards with them. And using code... Oh, I already said that part. Gosh, we're flowing so well there. You probably hear my shuffling deck going. My shuffling deck is protected by none other than my BCW Elite Guard sleeves using code Jeff10 at bcwsupplies.com. You can save 10% on your orders of sleeves, deck box, and all sorts of other great physical card accessories with them. All right. We're heading on into our third match with the Sultai deck. We beat Jeskai Drakes and we beat Blue-Black Undergrowth Brew there. Heading on into the next one here. Did I still write article summary? Yeah, actually write for I write for Cool Stuff Inc. most weeks. I actually took this week off, so. I took this week off from writing articles. When I feel like I don't have anything useful to say, I message my editor and I'm just like, I don't have anything good to write and I don't want to give you garbage, so I'm gonna take a week off. So with Artifact coming out and the holidays coming up, it's just everything so crazy around my house that Christy and I've actually been house hunting too, so we spent a lot of time over the last weekend doing that. So took this week off, but you can find a bunch of my stuff up there. Well, we just queued into the same person again. This is the person that just conceded against us. Wait, what? What's going on here? What are you doing, opponent? What are you doing, opponent? No blue mana, mulligan. Like, you've seen, like, I'm not gonna name names, but I wish more people would do what I do, because, like, I've definitely read articles from people before, and, like, I get, like, 2 or 3 paragraphs into the article, and I'm like, you didn't have anything you wanted to write about this week, did you? Ken Shockley, thank you for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Do you feel like the latter gives you less competitive opponents? I think I don't have a good metric for competitive versus not competitive. And anybody that tells you otherwise is mostly making stuff up. I think this idea that there's like this ultra competitive player when you play this very specific type of event is just mostly nonsense. Looking for some action here. Would really like to find like a Chemister's Insight to kind of generate some card advantage, to kind of work our way back up from their discard spell. Yep, that's fine. I didn't want those spells anyways. Is that Journey into Eternity? Yeah, the green-black Journey deck is Journey into Eternity. That'll be what we'll be playing after we're done with the Sultai control deck. I'm probably going to play this match and then one more. We'll see. We'll see how long this one takes. If it's a control mirror, this might be a 40-minute match. Counterspell's a good pickup. I think this idea that people who are willing to gamble automatically are better opponents is nonsense. And you hear that there's no data to back that up. At least none that I've ever seen. If you have some actual data to back up people who are willing to incinerate money are automatically more competitive, I'm willing to look at it. But whenever I ask someone for that data, they never give it to me. Fantastic. This is exactly the card we were looking for here. Just generate some real card advantage. Just 2/2 for 1s is fantastic. It also gives us enough cards to flip over the search for Azcanta, which is nice. Speaking as someone who has played a ton of Magic Online, there are a lot of people who are willing to, actually not even just Magic, anybody who's ever played cash poker knows that the idea that just because you have money to play in something means you're going to be a competent player is just very incorrect. Bot King Nation, thank you for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for shipping your Prime this way again this month. Yep. Doing your daily quests every day is the best way to acquire things on Arena. Correct. Yeah, foils and paper is another good example of that. I agree with that. I guess I just take this. I'm gonna bin that. I'm gonna go ahead and play this Overgrown Tomb out, I think, and then pass the turn. There are whales at all tiers, yep. If they jam the Blood Operative this turn, the Devious Cover-Up gets to exile it, which is nice. That being said, because we're not pressuring their health total, this Doom Whisperer is about to be very good for them. They're going to get to Surveil a lot and likely find exactly the cards they're looking for. Hopefully, my search for Azcanta is going to help us find an Assassin's Trophy or Contempt to get rid of this before it runs away with the game, but might not. So if they don't give us something to Devious Cover-Up here, we get to just activate Azcanta, which is nice. If you look in the release notes, there are literally release notes that say that the ladder is currently messed up. So the people that are saying the ladder is currently messed up, they're correct. It's okay. Perfect. I would like to put these three... I would like to put these 3 things that kill your Doom Whisperer back into my deck, please. What on God's green earth is that? Well, that's a little scary. Right on Time Scatter. Yeah, there weren't 4 cards I wanted back in my deck. I really didn't want to redraw any of the other cards in there. Essence Scatter feels pretty poor. I feel like most of the time in a deck like this, I'd much rather just like have a removal spell rather than counter target creature. Oh, I knew their last card was Fungal Infection. That's true. Yeah, this is just 1/3. That was my mistake, though. I should have left the Essence Scatter up. I knew their last card was Fungal Infection. I was clicking too quickly. It was revealed if I was paying better attention. Yeah, I agree, Koblin. I don't think there's too many creatures where, like, you need to counter it. And honestly, especially against in the face of threats like Niv Mizzet, like, Essence Scatter becomes even worse. Yeah, thank you, Downs, for timing that out. I was just about to say, let's just be done. All right, we're very done here. Got it. Yeah, I think Lavs leaves a little bit to be desired. Generally speaking, you want your creatures to be like individually powerful cards, and Lavs just like is not an individually powerful card. Trim some of these counter spells. Bring in some more spot removal. Not sure if this is a Carnage Tyrant matchup or not. Maybe it's not. They have both Thief of Sanity and Agent, so Craving is kind of appealing to leave in. Maybe I'll leave Chupacabra in, actually. Kills their, what's it called, their 6/6, which is nice. Opponent taking their sweet time sideboarding. So it's memorable Magic deck / archetype you've ever played with. Teamer Flash during RTR in Innistrad Standard. That's my favorite deck I've ever played. Yeah, we do Arena at least 3 times a week here on the stream. Play a ton of Standard. Do Standard 2 days a week and do Arena 3 days a week. Plus any other random bonus streams that I'm able to fit in. This isn't amazing, but it's fine. Teamer Flash. Teamer means blue, red, green. Alright, looks like we're gonna get a freebie. Sometimes magic happens. This is how the magic happens. So the important thing that you have to realize is the amount of money I make from ad revenue is very, very small. Okay, all right, we have a game. So like, while a bigger viewer count is nice, it doesn't necessarily equate to more money directly unless there's a significantly large amount of people subscribing. So like, while the modern content is less viewed, there's a lot of people that pay to support the modern content. Like, I was doing this as my job off of just modern before I ever started playing Arena. So, as long as there are people interested in supporting modern content, it'll be a part of this channel. Alright, well, we have a game here. Sometimes magic happens. Is there any deck you would ever go second with? Not in this standard format. This is a game of Magic. This is opponent mulligan to 3. We don't have spells. Alright, so... I have a page of both good decks and brews on my website. The standard decks that are sweet get pages up there. How many lands are we running? I actually don't know offhand. It should be listed on the Stream Decker. Yep. Just splash Banefire, right? Need to learn to shuffle better. All right, I'll practice. Let's practice our shuffling. I should go make a Reddit post, right? About how this is statistically inaccurate and how the shuffler on Arena has to be broken. That's what I should do, right? Should have mana weaved correctly. You got me. Someone who gets it. This is a very good draw. So I'm gonna turn our lands into some gas here. Nope, you need an exclamation point deck queue in chat to get a link to the deck list. You also find it on my website. Rude. Joe, list for the Teamer Flash deck. That's an old standard deck. It's not a current standard deck. Someone's asking me historically about some of my favorite decks. Alright. Thief of Sanity with double Sabotage. Let's go. Alright. They put up a good fight, but they have now lost on their Mold of 3. No, I don't think they're ever going to change. So Arena has a modified opening hand algorithm for the best of 1 queue, but anything remotely competitive on Arena is going to mimic Paper to the best of its ability. So the two are the same. They have Dive Down in their deck? Holy crap, that's fine. That's fine. I don't care enough to fight over that. This card has one job: protecting my Nightveil Spectre. Thief of Sanity, whatever this card's called. This disinformation campaign would not be good for us here, so let's not do that. It's gonna pass with double sabotage up. Poppy wants the counters. I'll take a discard spell. That'll do. That'll do, Peg. That'll do. Yeah, the best of one constructed, basically the game draws two hands and then gives you the hand with the closer to your average casting cost in it. So we'll just like take the Disdainful Stroke here. Really? Okay, interesting. I was not expecting that one to just slam in there. That's actually an incredibly annoying draw. Well, they mulliganed to 3 and we played a game of Magic. Okay. On to the third game. Huh. Dive Down. Dive Down makes me want more Moment of Cravings in my deck, so I have better ways to kill, or just more ways to kill their Thief of Sanities. Because, like, Thief of Sanity is incredibly good in a matchup like this. I'm gonna cut these Scavengers and bring in these Cravings. This isn't amazing, but it's fine. Turn 2 Azcanta on the draw is reasonable. Makes us likely to find some more lands here. The opponent's playing a deck full of discard spells, so I really don't want to mulligan too low anyways, because if I try to mulligan to a hand that has better spells in it, they're just going to take my spells away to begin with. So pretty much just want to keep anything that has lands and spells in it. We want to lead on Woodland Cemetery here as opposed to Hinterland Harbor, because Hinterland Harbor will come into play untapped thanks to our island. I don't think I want Duress in this matchup. Remember, if you miss anything, you can always find all of the Magic that I play on replays on my YouTube channel, as well as my website, jeffhoagland.com, or youtube.com/jeffhoagland. I break everything up by deck, so you can watch just the matches that you care about on there. Always find deck lists in the video descriptions as well. And if you're watching this on YouTube in the future, make sure to smash that like button and leave a comment below. I'm almost like a real YouTuber, chat. Sure. The problem with doing stuff like that, Elliot, is that it always leaves people feeling upset. Like, you know, like I have 2,700 subscribers at the moment. So like I just don't have enough. They took Sinister Sabotage out of my deck. Sure. You got me. No more counter spells for me. So, yeah, just trying to organize stuff like that just makes people feel bad, because, like, there's never enough time for everybody. Deal. Insight. Yeah, I'm just gonna get rid of that. It's like drawing it, really, right? And they were not pleased with my counterspells. I I think Murmuring Mystic in these blue-black base decks tends to be worse than playing Thief of Sanity, because Thief of Sanity and Murmuring Mystic are both cards that have a lot of upside to them when you draw them and they live, whereas Thief of Sanity's upside's a little bit higher. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this into play here. I'm gonna put a stop on their upkeep, and I'm gonna Vraska's Contempt their loves during their upkeep. And the reason for this is, this way, if they have a counterspell like a dive down or a more traditional counterspell like a negate, they have to use the mana on their turn, which means they won't have 5 mana available to them this turn to copy the Doom Whisperer. So small thing there, but we can choke our opponent's resources through our sequencing. I would love a land, thank you very much. Yeah, quad insight is nice in a matchup that cares about cards, for sure. I'm gonna be greedy and keep that. Perfect. I'm at 20. I'm gonna shock this in to hold up cast down. It also like bluffs the counterspell. What are my thoughts on the Age of Sigmar Champions game? I really like it. It's my favorite mobile card game for sure, and it's not close. It's got a lot of depth to it. It's got a lot of very unique gameplay, I feel. So we get to end step, cast this down. They'll counterspell us. Oh, okay. Let's say that we'll untap and Eldest Reborn it. Chupacabra. My hand has enough removal in it. Let's just spin that. We're definitely ahead at the moment. Thanks, Duress. Black Fairies is like that archetype that's just, it's so close to being great. I just wish it was a little bit better. Said a couple of times how much you like the standard format. With previous great standard formats, how much did the tier 1 decks change with the second? So that's actually an interesting question. So this current standard format, this is the first time in my experience playing Magic, for, you know, however many years I've been playing Magic, a long time, that a standard format with only 4 sets in it has had this much variety in it. So previously, all the standard formats that were as good as this one has felt or close to it were always much larger formats. All right, so I know I just shilled. I'm not going to shill again, but Arena decided it needed to take a nap. So enjoy my shill screen for half a second while we wake it back up here. Thanks everyone for hanging out today. 5 sets, sorry, 5 sets. The smallest, this is the first time a standard format this small has been this good. I think I said 4, you're right, I meant 5. This is the smallest Magic standard format's going to be. So Magic, for people that are unfamiliar, Magic standard formats go from 5 to 8 sets, then back down to 5 again. All right, I'm kind of digging this deck list. I think I'm gonna play one more. Do I want to change anything before I play one more? I think I'm okay. Oh, these Essence Scatters are poop. Yeah, I'm gonna cut these Essence Scatters. I'm gonna up a trophy, and I'm gonna put 1 Nightveil Predator in the main. I'm gonna put another one in the sideboard. Like that. Nightveil's a really good answer to opposing Carnage Tyrant. So while we have cards like Eldest Reborn that can kill Carnage Tyrant theoretically, a lot of the decks that play Carnage Tyrant accompany it with a lot of like dorky creatures that explore and stuff like that. So it's very hard for Eldest Reborn to kill Carnage Tyrant a lot of the time. I think so, honestly. I think with the only change being strictly better mana for Merfolk, I think Merfolk's going to be a real contender with the next set. Zombies. This hand is not very good against zombies, chat. Anything remotely aggressive is going to give us a hard time here. Yeah, it's because I keep running out of Mythic wild cards, so every time I run out of Mythic wild cards, I have to buy more packs. So the rare wild card bottleneck is a real thing, until you have all of your mana bases. And then once you have all of your mana bases, you run out of Mythics much faster. So I'm actually down to 1 mythic wildcard right now, so it's almost time to break out the credit card and give WotC some more dollars. CNB Meadow G, thank you for the 8-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Yeah, I like the hexproof creature more though. The hexproof creature is harder to interact with for a lot of folks, whereas like the Death Touch Pirate can be killed pre-combat. So probably gonna trophy the Glowspore. Yeah, Surveil is quite fantastic, and honestly, like, people keep asking, like, what makes this standard format so good? What's so different? Mechanics like Explore and Surveil and Jumpstart are things that go a long way towards making this format not just good, but great. These really little, subtle, but powerful mechanics that reduce the variance that Magic has are fantastic. Is MTGO more money efficient than MTGA in my opinion? So MTGO is cheaper for playing brews and bad decks because cards that are not popular are cheaper with the secondary market, but playing tiered decks, buying good mythics is the same price as buying bad mythics on Magic Arena. So it kind of depends on what you're going for exactly. Hey Kelvin, thank you for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Honestly, I think you want 4 trophies in your 75. I think there's a good chance that all 4 in the main is wrong. Like, I've only got 3 in the main deck of this one with the 4th in the sideboard, but trophy is very powerful. Having flexible answers is very important.
Get squeamish on me.
1500's about the normal, what we've been having for Arena JW. It's just Modern that we're low for. Magic Online is pretty unwatchable. Anybody who's not heavily invested in Modern has no interest in watching Magic Online. For the most part. Arena's brought a lot of new people in. The Deckmaster extension alone is just so fantastic. Bring in more removal spells. Trim some of these clunkier counter spells. Eldest Reborn is probably bad too. I'm just gonna bring in a big dumb dino. Just like it blocks. Seems fine. I guess there's a good chance they cut their removal against me, which makes Thief of Sanity kind of appealing. Yeah, maybe Thief of Sanity is fine. Let's give this a go. Now, I think 26 lands is fine. Decks like this on average tend to lose to Stumbling and Dying far more often than Flooding and Dying. And the important thing to remember is that when you have too many lands, you can use those lands to jumpstart your spells and turn them basically into spells. But when you don't have enough lands to cast your jumpstart card, you can't turn extra spells into lands. And that's fair, Greystar. If you're someone who likes video games and Magic, Arena is just, it's amazing. Alright. Well, if we find a basic, we'll be in a good spot. It's not a basic. Kinda. They don't have that many cards that, like, reward them for getting stuff back out of their bin necessarily. And, like, Sanity, if Sanity is milling them, then it's drawing us extra cards, and I'm probably okay with milling them if it means I'm drawing 2 cards. What are the dead weights for in the board? There aren't dead weights in the board. Nope. Deck list is updated. We got the dead weights. Have I ever had a real discussion with someone affiliated with Wizard of the Coast? Sure. I've had some back and forth when I've had issues before. And actually, one of the people on the Arena community team is someone that I knew during college now. So I've got some friends there now. Oh, this feels bad. What am I supposed to do here? Yep. Yep, that's why WotC Megan was in here the other night. She's actually married to one of my good friends from college, and she used to do drafts with us. What am I supposed to do? I think I'm supposed to Thought Erasure to try and break up pressure they could put on the table here, and then plan to Contempt this next turn, just like stem the bleeding. So I'm not impartial about Arena. Here's a very valuable learning experience for you. Papa Hogland's about to lay the real knowledge on you. Almost no one is impartial about anything. Anybody that tells you they're completely impartial on something is almost certainly lying to you. We all have our biases. The idea is just that figuring out which biases you're okay with and who's biased in ways that makes them unable to give you a reasonable feedback on things. Also, fair is fair. I've been saying Arena is good long before my buddy's wife was on the community team. That's my favorite, is when somebody says something stupid and you call them out on it. They're like, I was just joking. Don't be mean to me. I was just JK. LOL, LOL, LOL. But we got thoroughly thrashed by zombies. Thoroughly thrashed by zombies. All right, what are we wrapping up on Sultai control? The one thing I mentioned when we started this video was that I wasn't certain if the Sabotage Chemister's Insight package was going to be good. I actually was really impressed with the Chemister's Insight Sinister Sabotage package. Those two together, like having that instant speed draw spell that you get to hold up with the counter spells. So like when they do play into your counter spell, you get them, and when they don't play into the counter spell, you get to draw cards. I really liked that balance between the two. It felt pretty reasonable. I didn't feel too awkward with our sorcery speed threats too often. That being said, I feel like there isn't a compelling reason to not just play win conditions in this archetype. So this is a build of Sultai control that we played previously on the stream, and I'm not about to play this right now. You can find videos of this on my YouTube channel, but I really liked this build of Sultai that was more of a tap out control deck, playing at sorcery speed and playing a lot of bombs, because this deck can close games. The best way to ensure you don't lose control of a game is once you take control to end the game. And having a lot of threats that could do that felt incredibly powerful. It's just like, it's very similar to when we've talked about Izzet and Crackling Drake inside of Blue-Red and Jeskai control. Like, play cards that actually end the game. The win conditions are so powerful in this format that not playing cards that actually end the game for you, I think, is a big mistake. All right, what are we doing next?